Hey, my scrappy friends. I'm going to be working on a layout for Larkin Designs, and this layout I made using the Sweet Chicks collection, and I'm mostly using the pattern paper collection part of uh, this what you can buy from her store. So I really love the pattern paper. I think I print out papers from the pattern paper every single time because it's just really fun, and I love how each of the designs from each month kind of work a little bit together. And I have been really lucky and been able to find and use the collections with other collections. So what I am doing is taking this paper from Maggie Holmes, from the Florist collection, and it's this green, like, crazy paper. It's like a semicircle, and it's a really fun pattern. And at first when I seen it, I was like, how the heck am I going to use that? I'm never going to use that side. And I thought, oh, I'll probably just use the floral or something. But I've actually really had fun cutting this up. I've used this paper quite a bit, and I'm almost done with it. I'm really sad. But anyway, so it works really, really beautifully with this collection. It's just the right tone of green to like bring out the hints of all the other colors, with the black and whites, and then with the bright oranges and yellows. So that's my favorite part of this collection. So underneath this border, which I fussy cut around each of the layers of the semicircles, and which was not easy, but it was, you just watch TV and you do it, right? But then I took the pattern paper and I just cut. I had these leftover squares from um, the other layout that I made. And then I just took some other sizes. I also took a couple of the washi strips from the Elements paper, but in the end I didn't use that many of them. I think I only used like one or two because they're really thin and I wanted the pattern paper to kind of stick up. And so I did take a little bit of that camera paper, but I only used like one or two pieces, if I remember correctly. So yeah, so I'm just gonna go around the border, and I really am working on making sure that I am ruffling the edges of the pattern, the squares. And I use mostly the Larkin Designs paper. I think I just had that camera paper. I think that's one of the only papers of squares that I use that weren't hers. I'm trying to remember. I think that's it. But I just went all the way around it. I was just trying to make sure I didn't put the same papers next to each other, and they did kind of overlap and everything. And I thought about using my sewing machine, but because of that border not being very big, I didn't really want to gum up my sewing machine. So you do have to be careful when you use a sewing machine if you've used glue underneath it. So I just decided not to, and it really didn't matter. In fact, it probably will stay better not doing that. But yeah, so I just go around and do this, and this is the border of my layout. In the end, I'm gonna cut them off so that you don't see the edges of it. So the green part will be the edge of the paper, so you won't see the excess squares hanging off. But I mean, if you wanted it to be really crazy and you didn't care that it was gonna fit in a page protector, you could have definitely left it too. So on the inside, I knew I wanted something because this is all white. It's just, I don't mind white, definitely, but I wanted it to have something. So I just took some acrylic paint. I believe it's the teal or the aqua color. It's turquoise from Dina Wakley. And I really like that paint. It's really nice and thick, and the colors are really pretty. And then I just took my fine line bottle, and I was going to use my fine line bottle the whole time, and then it clogged up and I couldn't get it to come out. So it was really sad, but that's okay because I'm going to improvise, and it's not perfect, but I actually wished once I did it with the pen and the ruler, because I ended up using a ruler, just so that I could get straight, better lines. With the paint, I wasn't as picky, but then once I did it with the pen, I wish I did the whole thing with pen because it really looks nice with that, the more straight lines. So I just did some double lines, and I mean, I'm just going with the flow. It's not really, I didn't really have a vision for what I wanted the inside to look. I just wanted there to be something, and I knew that some of the patterns had some of these lines that were similar, so I thought I would just go with that. And so I'm going to pull some more of these pattern papers out from the collection, and I'm also going to pull out some of the pattern papers from the Maggie Holmes collection, but I believe I took them out of my Clique Kits. So a couple of months ago in our Clique Kit, we had Maggie Holmes. And I really like that I could use my kit and get better use out of my kits. Because sometimes, especially now that I design for them, I find that I use my kit for just them, and then the month is over and, I'm on to a new kit. And so it was kind of fun to be able to mix two of my design teams and be able to use some of their stuff with my Larkindesign stuff, so that you can see how you can use her products with stuff that you already have in your stash and that you want to use up, and how they work really well together. I mean, these colors look really fun together, don't they? So this picture is a picture of my desk doing crafty stuff. I don't know. I like to take pictures of what I'm doing and what I'm kind of working on and what it looks like in my room, because maybe one day I'll do my room different and it would be like, oh yeah. And plus it always looks so pretty when when I'm creating, even if it is messy over to the side. I just don't always share that part, right? We can be in denial that our space is messy when we're creating, right? But yeah. So I'm just finding papers to layer, and I'm layering the Larkindesign stuff. I'm layering the Maggie Holmes stuff. And I'm looking for some pieces that I can do almost like some grid type work-ish, where you take different block sizes and you kind of piece them together. So that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. And I knew that there is a lot of these like cut apart cards and everything that you can use in the collection, in the Maggie Holmes, and the colors are really similar to colors that I use. So I found this XO and I'm going to use that, and the O makes it really fun because I can add something to the O, and there's a lot of circle elements in the element sheet from the Larkindesigns collection. So definitely make sure that you look in the info box, because I'll have a link to the Larkindesign blog where I post my work from there. I also try to once a month post stuff on my blog. I'm not always so great, but I do have a blog, and I'll share some of the layouts that I do for teams, and I'll just share like a picture and the link to where you can find it as well. So definitely make sure you check out that stuff so you can see. And also, if you head over to the Larkindesigns blog, you can see how the other ladies have used the collections, because there are so many different ways that you can use these. And I know that Teresa has actually put out some templates and stuff, which I have been working with, so I'll be sharing those next month in June. So be on the lookout for that. So I'm going to be using a flare in that circle, but I'm going to use some twine, and this is going to add just another one of those textures. So one of the things I also put on this layout, and I can't take credit for the idea really, because I seen Sue's Fish do this, but her daughter had been making stuff with the perler beads, and I had remembered that my kids had, they always make stuff with perler beads. Well, they don't always. They like perler beads a lot, and we have a ton. And they'll make me stuff, and they made me a coffee cup. And it was the perfect colors because they match perfectly for this. So I decided to put it on my layout. I just used some of the Redline double stick tape. So it's in the American Crafts. It's you could probably use another brand too, but the Redline, it has a red backing and it's double stick and it sticks to a lot of stuff. So that's what I like to use, like with flare if I can, or with elements like this, like the perler bead. I know it's gonna stick, right? And then I just took some of the cut aparts also from the Clique Kits cut apart sheet, their exclusive stuff, and I put that on there too. And I'm just layering it all around, and I'm going to do my journaling on that card that looks like a library card, and then I just am layering different things, and I'm going to layer those circles, and I put some on pop dots up at the top and the bottom. And so I'm just working on layers. I'm just finding little bits and pieces to tuck in because that's what those pieces are for, right? Tucking in. And I took some of the cameras from the one paper and cut them out. I think I used a couple of those too. And I'm just trying to find colors that work together and really just pop with the papers. This was a really fun layout to make. I really liked it. It's one of my favorites lately. Though it is hard to find a favorite, guys. I don't know. Do you guys have a favorite layout? Do you have a hard time finding favorites? I do, because I like every little I like things about each of the layouts that I've done. But anyway, that's besides the point. So yeah, I'm almost done with this. I'm just really finding the little bits and pieces, finding some enamel dots and type of things to add. I think that really is going to make this layout just fun and pop, and bring just a few more extra of the colors that I had on the layout, and make it pop. So definitely make sure that you check out the blog post that I wrote, and make sure you check out the Larkindesign store. Every month, Teresa puts out collections that work together. And so there's Project Life and there's Papers, and she works really hard and has some amazing, amazing papers and designs, and really fun to play with. Also, if you haven't checked out her classes, you definitely want to check out her Project Life classes. They're really fun. This last one just got over live, but I believe that you could still order it and buy it and watch it. If you haven't watched them and done them, I highly, highly recommend them. There's so much information and just like awesome. So I will see you guys later. I hope you guys have a great scrappy week, and I hope you guys just stay inspired. Bye.